Miss Foster.
How you doing, Miss Foster?
Just fine, guys.
Nice night tonight, huh, Miss Foster?
Oh, yeah, it's perfect.
And that's how I got on SNL and on Seinfeld, because it's so intense when you have that period of life, but it's also a great chapter. They're like, you don't have to quit. Listen, you're just playing a part. You can just tell your kids. And I was like, no, you could tell your kids, but I quit.
Good. Anybody else?
Friends?
Yes.
Saying the rosaries, punching each other in the head, drinking wine, punching each other in the head, laughing. Like, I was on the show, and I was like, oh, this is great. Regular schedule, TV, get that TV money. First of all, I flipped my dog out. My dog, she's 195. She's like me as a dog. Like, you'd get on SNL, and there'd be, like, paparazzi, and like, oh, you know. And then next thing you know,
Perfect.
okay.
You're basically a director.
I
You
love-
are a director. Aren't you a director? Have you
No,
directed?
I write and I produce, but I don't direct.
Okay.
I'd like to, but no one will let me.
Wait a sec. Okay, wait. Are we filming? Yes, we are. Okay, great. Because this is how I want this to go. Wait, so you have a play,
Yes.
but did you direct that play? Because I was at
Well,
Napa
I
this
guess you-
summer and I saw you and it
Mhm.
was fabulous.
Thank you.
And I know you wrote it. I know you produced it. I know that you star in it, but did you direct it?
Well, I guess you could say I did then because it was a stage reading to try to get investors. But now, so I did direct that, but I wouldn't direct the play for production because if I'm in it, it's too weird to not have a critical eye of yourself, which
Yeah.
I already have a critical eye enough because I can look in the mirror. But anyway, it's going to be done at the Athenaeum in Chicago in the fall.
It is?
Yes, because of Napa, because of doing it out there.
So you met with Lawrence with the Athenaeum.
I met with Lawrence and Patty Heaton, you know, from Everybody Loves
Yep.
Raymond, Margaret Colin, Welker White, my daughter Sinead. Yeah, Lila Robbins, so all these fabulous actresses in it.
Do you have dates for that or not yet?
Yeah, we're supposed to start rehearsing like the third week in September and open the beginning of October.
Oh, I gotta go.
Isn't
I
that-
gotta be there.
I'm so excited. I can't even tell you.
It was so fabulous. And here's the thing, I don't know you really. You know what I mean? Like I've like,
Lucky
look,
you.
Siobhan, I'm not saying what I want you to hear is I'm not trying to blow smoke up your skirt as like someone like, oh, Liv's just saying that because she loves me. I mean, I don't know any different. I'm telling you, it was spectacular. And my favorite, and I don't want to give anything away because it's such a great show. But okay, how am I going to say this? Let me just say this. My favorite song of all time is Fly Me to the Moon.
Oh,
That's my favorite song of all time. My grandfather was next door neighbors with Frank Sinatra. They grew up together.
Really?
Yes. Isn't that
Really?
great? I know.
Oh,
They were
I
best friends
love-
till they were 15. And I have a cousin who's a Broadway composer.
Oh,
And so I get to go to the city and Frank is a part of all the, they're always talking about these old stories. So
best.
I am the non-talented one out of the
Oh, are you kidding me? No, so when I got married, I couldn't decide between two songs. So I said, okay, this is the deal. I know this is weird, but I'm gonna have two dances with my father. One was King of the Road, and the next one was Fly Me to the Moon. But
That's
yeah,
brilliant.
the play, I think because people relate because, well, it's about my mother's last day, and my mother passed just before 97. My three sisters and my niece and my aunt and I all took care of her. And it was so Catholic, saying the rosaries, punching each other in the head, drinking wine, punching each other in the head, laughing. So people can relate to it because it's so intense when you have that period of life, but it's also a great chapter. Like, it's like you wouldn't take it back for the world. It's such a beautiful period. And the play, as you know, starts with the priest having given the last rites, and it all goes from there.
Yeah. It does. And here, I love that we're already chit-chatting and we're here on the show. This is a new podcast called The Living Room. And I'm Liv Harrison, and this is Siobhan Fallon
Hogan.
Here's the thing. Why do I want to keep stopping at Fallon? Did you ever just go by Siobhan Fallon, or did I make that up?
Well, first of all, I want to say I love the name that's Liv from The Living Room. That's brilliant.
Oh, thank you.
It's because of this. My maiden name is Fallon, and I was professionally Siobhan Fallon Hogan for years. I mean,
Okay.
no, Siobhan Fallon. And then I realized my kids were like, why, they're Hogans. So,
Okay.
Mom, why are you Siobhan Fallon? So then I switched it.
Okay. So thank you. I'm not
Yes.
totally crazy.
It's part of it I would not advise anyone doing because, you go to the airport and you're licensed and then it's ridiculous.
It's too much. It's too
Too many
much.
names. It's too many names.
It's too many names. Well, yeah, so I was blessed enough to meet you this summer in Napa, and I got to see your amazing new play that you wrote about with the passing of your mother.
Yes.
But something that I really wanted to talk about, Siobhan, especially since we met, is I identify so much with you personally. You are getting to live, and I think I told you this in Napa, you are getting to live the life that I always wanted. So I want to say thank you, first of all. You're doing fantastic
That's so nice.
on our life.
Let me tell you something, sister. As I said to my kids, so I'm so lucky to have this podcast coming out, Catholics and Cappuccinos on EWTN. And my daughter's like, Mom, you have followers. So I go, I finally made it. Finally made it.
You made it.
One time my husband, his aunt Francine, she was the best from Rockaway, Queens. We drove out there and he had just bought a Durango. And he said, Aunt Fran, I'm going to show you my new Durango. And she said, Peter, you finally made it.
I love that and I've seen you say that online, like, and I want to talk about, you have this brand new podcast, Catholics and Cappuccinos.
Yes.
And I love that it's plural in both, by the way. Like, it's not Catholic and cappuccino. See, was there some conversation about that? I knew there was a reason that you added the S's.
Well, you have to understand something. I am not the brightest bulb. And there's been so many funny things where I'm like, hi, and welcome to Catholics with Cappuccino. And my son's like, no, that's not the name. Okay, let's take two. Hi, I'm Siobhan Fallon Hogan, and welcome to Catholics and Cappuccino. And he's like, nope, that's not the name. And I'm like, what is the name? So people always think that I'm way deeper than I am. And they're like, why did you decide to do that? And I'm like, I was a mistake. It's just like my movies. I'll be like, I love the theme. Like I wrote this movie, Shelter and Solitude. I loved when it's about a prison, a guy in death row, and I play his washed up prison guard. And I just wrote this story. And afterwards, people were like, I just loved when he was eating the cookie. And it was just like the Eucharist. That was genius that you did that. And I was like, funny.
Yes.
You're going to put chocolate chip cookies in there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not that deep. And so it's just really lucky, or, God has a sense of humor and he's trying to make me think that I'm smart and I'm not.
I think you must have a really great guardian angel is what I think.
Definitely.
I think that's what it is.
Definitely.
And they're like, look, this is going to do amazing with the Catholics, this cookie scene.
So I was telling you before we got on, last night, I look like, I don't know what.
You look fantastic.
Look like I need to be closed for renovation. But my son did producing a movie. It's Catholic themed. And anyway, we had a shoot last night in New Jersey. And if you look at the weather, it's freezing. And I played a nun. I won't go to it, but it gets hit by a car. But I had played a different role where I had beautiful nails, and God was on my side because just before, I'm not supposed to have nails. That was for a different part. They all fell off except for this one. So I just have one. So because you
have one nail,
you have like longs. So I think I do have a funny guardian angel.
You do have a very funny guardian angel. I'm sure.
Well, my cuticle beds don't feel so good.
So you look, I'm sorry, but for being up till 5:30 in the morning, you look sensational. I want to ask you, because you're very rare, or let me say this, you were rare being an entertainer and a Catholic, but now I feel like everybody's kind of getting in on your territory a little bit.
What? Like, come on.
What happened?
Stay under your bushel basket. So this is what happened, I think.
Yeah. What is going on? Please tell me.
Things went so far off the rails that Catholics were like, you know what? Well, first of all, I think the Hallow app really helped people because, I don't know if you at Napa, if you heard Alessandro speak, but, here was Goldman Sachs successful guy. And they're like, why are all these other, religions or meditation, and why are we hiding this as Catholics? I remember years ago, my husband was actually, in 9/11, stopped in church and missed being killed. But I was 9 months pregnant, and
oh my gosh,
he stopped in to say a prayer for me because I had my 9-month appointment, literally at St. Vincent's Hospital, looking at the towers. Horrible.
Oh wow.
But I remember shortly after, Congressman Peter King, if you know who he is, he's kind of brilliant, from New York, said, we had a meeting, and he said, why is it that the Catholics are afraid to shout it out? Like, what do we do? Like, we're almost like we're too proud or something. And anyway, so now I think with the Hallow, people are shouting it out, not afraid. And then you realize, oh, he's Catholic. Oh, she's Catholic. Oh, and all along you've been like I'd be on movie sets and I'm like, listen, I'm Catholic. So I don't, but I really wasn't. I was really proud. But like movies, I always say were easy because you get the script, you know what you're getting. But TV shows, it's another thing I want to talk to God about privately. Like I was on this show and I was like, oh, this is great. Regular schedule, TV, I'm gonna get that TV money. And about 4 episodes in, they decided to have my character have an affair that started at once. And I was like, oh, are you kidding me? Like, what? And then they're like, look, I have to quit. And they're like, you don't have to quit. Listen, you're just playing a part. You can just tell your kids. And I was like, no, you can tell your kids, but I quit. So anyway,
so you did. So you left a part because
I
they
did.
wanted you to have an affair, and you were like, I'm not doing that.
It
It's
started
against...
in Mass. Wait, get a load of this. Started in Mass when I was picking up a missalette, and this guy's like, hey. No, first of all, it's, wait, I let my dog out. It's such a joke anyway. But yeah, no, I was like, look, my dog, she's 195. She's like me as a dog.
I love it. It's perfect. This is real life. This is what would happen in a living room. I
Yeah.
love this.
Exactly.
This is the point.
I even have the candle for the living room.
Good. Oh, thank you.
That.
I love that. What are we smelling? What does the candle smell?
Well, I think it's left over from Christmas. It's red. What? Cinnamon.
Perfect.
Fantastic.
I love that. So you left a part because of that. Yeah, I was gonna say because you've always been Catholic. You're not a person in entertainment that found the church.
No,
You were in it.
I
You're
never-
an OG, Siobhan. You're an
I'm a-
OG.
Do you know what I didn't even know what an OG was? It's just like LOL. I thought LOL was is it laugh out loud or lots of love? I still don't know what it is.
Laugh out loud.
Okay, I thought it was lots of love. So people
Oh.
sometimes said that to me and I was like, that's a little inappropriate.
I
I'm a
know.
married woman.
Shouldn't give me that much love. We barely
like-
know each other.
Another person that has a crush on me. I was like, no, I don't have a crush on you. I just want to laugh. So yeah. So OG, yeah. No, I never doubted. I mean, my parents were awesome. And I'm like I had a friend, this best guy, he actually passed away, and I said, Chris, you're such a good Catholic. You go to Mass every day. He goes, no, Siobhan, I'm not a good Catholic. I just love Catholicism. I go, it's kind of like me.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, you told a great story at Napa about you and Chris Farley and how when you were on Saturday Night Live, you guys would do the show.
Yeah.
And he was known to be a fun guy.
Oh, hilarious. The
He would
best.
partake in all sorts of fun activities.
Yes.
And then you two would end up in Mass.
Yes. So we lived near each other and we were on the Upper West Side and went to Holy Trinity and we would go to the night Mass on Sunday nights because Saturday Night Live is all nocturnal. My son's actually working there. I actually went, see, I've been on a run. This is why I look particularly bad. Saturday night I went to the show because my old pal Stellan Skarsgård, who I haven't worked with in 24 years, I haven't seen him, his son was on. And so I went and saw him. So I was up till 5 a.m. then. I'm all mixed up. It's like I went to Japan, but I didn't get the benefit of the trip. But anyway, so we would go to Mass and Chris was the best guy and so faithful. You know, he visits shut-ins. He was like the real deal.
Really?
And yeah, but in Mass, he'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry. And because, you know, we'd go, like the party would end and then we'd like, whose buzzers can we ring? That's how I met. That's how I got. Well, I didn't meet my husband. I met my husband. He didn't like me. And so I was like, Chris, we have to go to my husband's because Chris played rugby and so did my husband.
Mhm.
And Chris had his whole rugby team and his friend who became a priest, who father, I believe it's Foley, you know, the character's from, you know,
Right. Okay.
I'm from a van down by the river. Anyway, so I was like, I really like this guy, but he doesn't like me. And he's like, well, come on, let's go. Let's go. We buzzed his. My father and mother would be like, oh, Siobhan, please. That's so disgraceful. But we go and we buzz like, he's like, wake up. We got anything to eat, and just bombarded. So we would just be like two Irish terrors and then, you know, be at Mass the next night.
I love that.
Yeah.
Have you found anyone else like Chris? I mean, okay, first of all, there's no one like Chris, but anyone else like Chris in the Catholic space where you can share, you know, and go to Mass with and share your faith with?
Well, here's the thing. Like from doing Catholic, well, first of all, my kids, I'm like, look, like my son now works at SNL. My daughter's a newscaster in New York. And I'm like, my other daughter's an actress. And I just hound them. I'm like, let me tell you something. You get a lot of gifts and you get your rear end of mass. And I just, but within the business, this is what's so great. This Catholics and Cappuccinos, like I've had Kevin James on, such a faithful guy. He fasted for 40 days last year during Lent. He's incredible. Jonathan Rumi, Patty Heaton, and I, like Margaret Cohen out in Napa, we're all Catholic girls, and they're both in my play. Not intentionally, by the way. It's just, it's weird because I cast them because they remind me exactly of my sisters, write about my sisters. And then they're Catholic, which, comes out in their work.
Yeah, it does. It does come out in their work. And I think what's interesting, we kind of started talking about this a little bit at the beginning, how there's this, all of a sudden it feels like everybody's Catholic. I'm like, it feels like it's the trendy thing to be. I had a friend that said, if you're famous and you walked into our church once, the Hallow will put you on and you'll do a rosary.
Well, interesting. My church, Holy Trinity, Diane Wiest was a parishioner, and Raul Julia, remember from the Addams Family?
Yes.
Yes. So I think there's a real, like I had Father Duffy on from, Rockville, St. Agnes, I believe St. Agnes, one of the biggest parishes in Long Island on the podcast. And he said, look, people are getting tough. So he said, look, I was telling the bishop that what's the proper word? Confirmandes. Is that it?
Yeah, that's good.
That's the other thing. I had to step up my lingo when I went to
No,
Mass.
that was impressive. That was like a catechism. Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, probably like I was with my sister who's, she has her master's in theology, and she's like, Siobhan, please don't mock this. Don't mock the people that you're that are in front of your face. I'd be like, I'm discerning dissert. And apostolate. It's a whole lingo. You got to bring like the book, like it says like, okay, listen, if you want to be impressive, say your apostolate is this. And I was like,
yes.
What? So anyway,
you're dropping all the right words.
All
yes.
right. So Father Duffy said that he said to his 8th grade students and their parents, look, you're not bringing these kids to Mass, so I'm no longer going to say they're ready for confirmation. So here's the deal. They either come to Mass, and we're going to do it through a QR code, or they're out. The next Sunday, they had 2,000 more parishioners.
2,000?
1,000. Isn't that amazing?
That's
he's giant.
Jesus numbers. That's amazing.
And then like in my I'm from upstate New York. And when my kids were little, for years, I would do the Bible camp. And I would do this improv and do all the stories. And we had a whole group that we did this Bible camp. Well, and then, as my kids got into high school, they'd be volunteers. I would continue to do it. And anyway, it fizzled out. It was no longer. Well, then 5 years ago, when there was a horrible shooting in Mexico, Uvalde, I was like, this is messed up. These kids need religion. What is going on, right? So I said, we got to start the Bible camp again. So here I am, long in the tooth. My sister Megan is my youngest sister. She got the master's in theology. And then my friend Mary Beth, all our kids are old, and we start the Bible camp. And my sister Megan is brilliant. So she's the brains behind the operation. I'm the dog and pony show, like doing improv and getting the kids up to, I'm like, okay, the wedding of Cana, you guys are dancing over here. Okay, you're the waiters, we're winning all the wine. And, but then they come in droves. Like the kids thirst for faith. And, this insanity of like, well, we couldn't go to Mass. We couldn't go because we had a sport.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Right.
Well, if you're going to look at things from a sports analysis, how many kids become professionals? So if I were you, I'd skip that, go to Mass and get it together, because you want to be, that's why everybody's depressed. I mean, some people are legitimately depressed, but then everybody says like, just, I think societally depressed, because who wouldn't be depressed for just looking at yourself in the mirror? I wouldn't be able to get out of bed. Just looking at yourself all the time. My mother said to me when I was in LA, I called her up. I was like young, like 28. And I said, oh my gosh, Mom, I'm so, and she's like, hurry up and talk, because this is expensive. You girls don't even know that, you're too young. But, and she'd be like, Mom, I'd be like, Mom, and unbeknownst to me, my father would be on the other end of the line listening. It's like, Mom, I honestly can't get a job as an actress. And this job that I have is killing me. I'm a clown at birthday parties. Things aren't going well. And my mother said, well, Siobhan, maybe you should stop thinking about yourself, think about others, and volunteer. and see how hard other people have it. And maybe you shouldn't be looking in the mirror so much. And then I go, huh. And my father goes, Siobhan, I'm on the other end of the line. And I'm like, I'm watching this show called the Academy Awards. And you're an actress, right? Yeah, because I've never seen you on it. And I would like burst out laughing. So such a sick relationship. He'd hang up, and my mother go, "Oh, Sean, I better go." And she'd go, "Bill," and you hear the phone go, "It's Bill. I think you made her feel badly."
Oh,
That's fine. But in other words, we weren't allowed. Like,
Yeah.
there was not only guilt, but also you would kind of feel, it was a little wrong to be thinking about so much about yourself. And if you come out of yourself and get into church and get involved and volunteer, then you feel a lot better about yourself.
I was going to say, that's got to be a really hard line to walk, especially being an entertainer and a comedic one, because it is all about like, look at me at Saturday Night Live. I need to be funny. And if you don't have the other side, which I'm sure you've seen, I don't know, I'm just guessing.
Right.
You've met a few people with some egos that think they are sensational.
Sure.
And they don't have anything that grounds them.
Right.
Like faith.
Absolutely. But even like, you can start to drink the Kool-Aid yourself. Like you'd get out of SNL and there'd be like paparazzi and they're like, huh, I guess, and then next thing you know, you're not on it and you're like, huh, wah, wah, wah. And if you want to stay steady, it's the only thing that can keep you steady.
Yeah.
Is the faith.
100%. Well, my favorite role that you were ever in was the bus driver in Forrest Gump. I know. It's probably what you get. What do you get most? What do people usually say to you? I loved you in... Well, I loved you in your play, actually, to be very honest. That's my favorite role. I know. Again, not blowing anything up a skirt. Being honest.
So I have different reasons for, like, Shelter in Solitude, which I wrote, I love because my family all produced. We were all in it. My son has great
I need
rollers.
to see that.
Yeah,
our friend Claire has told me about it. Claire said it's just fabulous.
And then Rushed is very serious Catholic family and a fraternity hazing. I wrote that one, and I became friends with two moms who lost their sons in fraternity hazing incidents. Matter of fact, Rayanne Groover, who lost her son Max Groover, the Groover Foundation has changed laws all over the country because of what happened to her son. So to meet people like that who have had horrific things happen to their families, their children.
Yeah.
Get up and be able not only standing, but like saying, I don't want this ever to happen to another kid is unbelievable. But you asked me what was my favorite. Okay. So, or what do people know me from?
What do people normally say to you? Oh, well, I loved you in...
it's
whatever.
The weirdest thing. I will know a lot about people by what they know. So if they are like, oh my God, I loved you in Holt.
Yeah.
It's like their kids at a certain age. They're like, okay, I'm like, okay, you're in your 20s. Or people are like, I loved you in Dancer in the Dark. I'm like, they know foreign films. They're really smart. I better make sure my grammar is correct when I'm speaking to them. Or I loved you Dancer in the Dark and Dogville. I love you, the Danish films. I'm like, thank you. I'm like, if there's a mistake, they shouldn't have cast me. No, and then like I was in this crazy TV show, Fred, and
I remember that show. I never watched it, but I remember when that was out on.
Yeah, and some people are like, I loved you in Fred, and I was like, it was my finest work. It was your mother. But so I mean, I have different reasons for different things. Like when I did Charlotte's Web, my kids got to come to Australia with me and go to school there. When I did the Lars von Trier movies, they got to come and go over to school, tutored in Sweden and that kind of thing. So sometimes it's about the experiences that I love, or like I really had a good time doing New in Town up with Harry Connick Jr. is awesome. I got to get him on the podcast. He's Catholic.
Okay, so I'm going to be on the Good News Cruise speaking, and Harry Connick Jr. is going to be singing on it. You need to come on the cruise with us next.
What is the Good News Cruise?
The Good News Cruise is a Catholic. They rent out an entire ship. Okay, a Catholic cruise ship, and they fill it with Catholics, and then it's Father Mike Schmitz. You got Scott Hahn, Dr. Scott Hahn, and his wife.
You're studying with it. Yeah, he went to Boston College. Yes.
Would you like to come? I'm going to call them right now, and let's get you on. It'll be next February.
That's hysterical.
2027. Do you want to come? I
Where
say yes.
I would love to.
Come do your show.
Well,
I say we need a little play going on whilst floating to the Bahamas.
Oh my gosh! In February.
Yeah.
Listen. I would love to. I mean, when I went to Napa, I was like, these are my people.
Yeah.
I went with my sister Megan, as I told you when I first went 2 years ago.
I loved Megan. I got to meet her. She was with you, right, in Napa?
Both times. She
was fabulous. We had a great time together.
So she's an attorney. She's a runaway bride. She was engaged, but a couple times she ran away. But she's single.
Julia Roberts.
She's single. Yeah. And my father actually took me on a car ride just before I got married. And he said, "Siobhan, get in the car." And talk about, it was Syracuse, it was freezing, and I'm a real sweetaholic. And he's like, "Get in the car. We're gonna go down to Chittenango, home of the Yellow Brick Road, by the way, and the author of The Wizard of Oz." And he goes, "We're gonna go to the bakery there, and we're gonna get some headlights." Now, I don't know if you know what headlights are, but they're donuts with chocolate and then white. So they're called headlights, just like headlights.
Okay, I'll now need to know what a headlight is.
Yeah, so as we're driving, he's like, "Siobhan, I want to tell you something." I think I was on SNL. I was like 29, 30. And he says, "There's a real vocation for single people," which, by the way, I completely believe me. He said, "My Aunt Hazel with the most beautiful life, single." And I said, "You don't want to take me for headlights. You want to take me to tell me I'm going to be single." And he said, "Your mother tells me that you really found a fella that you like." That was Peter. "Now listen," he said, "you really like him?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Well, then you might want to hide your real personality for at least 3 weeks." Highly insulting, but I did it, and it worked.
And it worked.
Even worse. But then I got so bored pretending I was like, "Oh, really?" When he tells stories, I'm like, "Oh, that's interesting. Oh." And then I was like, "This is so boring. I can't take it." And then one day I told him, I don't know, he was on the rugby team. He's like, "Yeah, we were out. We were doing like, well, that's stupid. Why don't you get to better, say act like I was." But anyway.
I love that. How long have y'all been married?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So 2, 3. Oh, it's going to be 34 years.
34 years. How many children, Siobhan?
3. So Bernadette is a newscaster in New York City. She's on New York One. She covers
oh wow,
the governor and the insanity. My son Peter is an actor and a producer, but he works on SNL for his day job. And then my daughter Sinead is in acting school at Lee Strasberg.
And she's the one that's in the play with you that you wrote.
That's right.
When did you start writing movies and plays and things of that nature? I mean, because I'm guessing you started out doing improv.
Yes.
Started doing Saturday Night Live and film. But when did you start saying, you know what, I'm actually a different type of creative. I can write.
This is what happened. I was in New York City, desperado, working as a receptionist in a law firm because all I could do was answer phones. I was a horrible waitress. I was terrible at everything. And I was ready. My father kept saying, "Why don't you come back up to Syracuse and you can start a dinner theater or go to law school?" And I was like, maybe because my SATs couldn't even get me in anywhere. How am I going to?
Amen. Same.
Anyway, so I was ready to quit, and I used to always get kids from Catholic U jobs at this law firm. And I really believe what goes around comes around. And this one girl was like, "Siobhan, there's an audition for this improv group." So I auditioned, and it was very, very popular. There used to be lines around the block. I used to put on Michael Jackson's "I'm Looking at That Man in the Mirror" every night in my Walkman and walk down. I'm looking at, and I was like, "I've made it." Make $10 a night. Anyway, so this guy said to me, "You should write a one-person show."
Oh.
And I was like, "Oh," I never even would have thought of it really. And so I did. So I wrote all the parts. I did 10 different characters that I would love to play, but no one would cast me in because I was in my late 20s, and people would say, "You're going to work when you're 40." Because my voice was really deep. My hair was insane. I was weird looking. And they're like, "Don't worry." And I was like, 40? That seems like an eternity when you're 27, 28. I was like, what?
Right.
So I wrote this one-person show, and that's how I got on SNL and on Seinfeld.
Really?
Yes. It was
and you could write. And you found out, I mean, did you know you were a good writer before then?
No, I was just desperate. And the guy mentioned it. So then what happened was, so I, over the years, say when I had kids and there was a little slump in my career, then I wrote a one-woman show about being a mother. And then when I moved out to New Jersey from New York City, my kids all went to Catholic school, and I wrote something called the Salty Seat PTA because I was on the, I was on the Faith in Action. They'd be like, we'd have meetings for this going during Vespers, a lot of times the incense are not good for my son. So I'm like, okay, so we're going to stop doing that. We've been doing it for thousands of years because you. Or people be like, it's not really fair that, I cut up carrots for my kid every day and try to be healthy and celery. And then another kid has chocolate chip cookies. So I literally did the show and just mocked everybody. And it was
Brilliant.
My friend was like, okay, this is going to go one or two ways. You're either going to get run out of town or people are going to think it's funny. And I was like, so I was backstage the night we were doing it at this big theater. So all sold out. And my friend Peter's the director. And I go, I'm in this wig. I'm going to come out. I come out dancing. It's so insane to She's a Lady. Tom Jones. She's a lady. And I'm like, it was absolutely insane. I'm supposed to be like this therapist giving advice. And I go up to my friend and I have this crazy wig on and my glasses. And I said, just got thinking about something. What if this doesn't work? And he said, it's too late now. And he walked away from me. So crazy.
No, but that's brilliant. But that's kind of like, I talk, one of the things that I do as a speaker is I talk about imposter syndrome.
Oh.
And I was going to say, that's kind of like when you walk up and you're, I don't know. Have you ever gone through imposter syndrome when you're like,
what exactly is that?
It's when you have such self-doubt that you think that you are a fake. Like, let's say that you studied to be a surgeon, right?
Right.
And you walk in and here's this person laying on the table and they give you a knife and you look down and you go, what the hell? Like, why would they think I can do this? Like, who said I can do this?
Oh,
I'm not, but you can because you're a trained surgeon. Or like when you're a mom and they put the baby in your hands and like, you can take it home now. And you're like, who thought I could do this?
Right.
So you think you're a fake or a phony. And the other side of it is, and you're afraid everyone else is going to find out.
Well, that's very interesting because back in the day when I was in my 20s, and of course you have that doubt, and everyone's telling you're terrible, and you're not, you never get a job, and it's not going well. And so my friend gave me this book called Creative Visualization, which was by this woman Shakti Gawain. I still recommend it, but I say if you it's sort of that picturing, and because I feel like the brain is really weak, and if you picture your future and then you add faith to that, it's like a great recipe.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you can, with the podcast, I was like I said to Jonathan Rumi, I go, the first time I'm like, so it's a podcast. So I guess I'm one of those people. What do you call it? He's like, podcaster. I'm like, okay. So, but I have to say, like, my mother was great. Like my father was really funny and like big personality, but my mother was really funny behind the scenes. Like, most people that were in the family or weren't close friends wouldn't know, but she was always like, what are you doing? And like, so if I did one person shows, she and my sister Mary, the oldest, they said they would sit there and be like, oh no. Like they'd be like, come out. They'd be like, oh no. Oh no. Oh no. And then my mother would say to my sister, is it good? Are people laughing? Like he was frozen with fear for me, which is so insulting. I never really did have that imposter syndrome too much, other than my early years. That my father, which I put in one of my shows, so he said to me one time, I called him from a payphone in New York City because I was doubting his advice. He was a lawyer, and he was advising me to only sign a contract for a year with an agent. And I said, Dad, no, let me tell you something. They want me to sign for 3 years. Siobhan, are you listening to me? And he said, you know what's wrong with you? You're a thespian and you have unearned effervescence. You're like a thespian who doesn't listen and you got unearned effervescence and you don't get it. Click. And he hangs up.
Did you say, Dad, I'm Catholic, I can't be a thespian? I'm just kidding.
But he was like, what's with you? Another time he came down to New York and I had done this off Broadway, like in the basement of a Unitarian.
Like Connecticut. It was in Rhode Island.
It was in the basement of, speaking of Rhode Island, okay, you're not rude. So it was the basement of a church. It was like a musical review. And my song was You Come From Rhode Island. I don't know if you know that. And I was in 1920s bathing suit. I was like, you come from Rhode Island, and little old Rhode Island is famous for you. Did it. I can't remember the whole song, but we went out to dinner afterwards. The Luxembourg Cafe, it's still there. my mother, my sister, and my poor sister Megan was always dragged along because she was youngest. And my father was twirling a fork, staring like this, staring off. He's talking to people at the next table. He's not talking to us. I go, what is wrong with you? Why are you talking to everybody else and twirling your fork like that? And he said, you want to know why? I go, why? He said, this is what you want to do with the rest of your life? Sing songs about Rhode Island in the basement of a Unitarian church. Is that what you want to do? I go, yeah, that's what I want to do. Exactly what I want to do.
It's my whole dream. It's my entire dream. That's all I ever. It's on my dream board. That's
But I just go right back at him. And then when like I got an SNL stuff, he's like, Siobhan, listen, we're the Knights of Columbus want you to come and speak.
I'm sure.
Hibernian. Oh, I was like, oh yeah, you're all over it now. He's telling me like,
sure, get a little airtime. And,
yeah, I
and
was like, hey,
you
I'm
want to
starting to glom on now, Dad.
I love that. That's so fantastic. Well, so this is perfect, Siobhan, because now you've transitioned into this
old
other
lady.
space where
A dinosaur.
into a dinosaur. No, but you've always been this Catholic entertainer. Well, no, an entertainer that's Catholic. But now you're kind of transitioning into a Catholic entertainer with this new podcast. Like, what made you decide to go like Catholic forward? Does that make sense? Like,
no,
what
this
made you decide to kind of go into EWTN zone? It's
I
a little
didn't-
different from Hollywood and New York.
Yeah,
They're in Alabama.
I didn't decide. They decided. So I was like, well, you guys are better than me, so whatever you say. No, so this is what happened. I wrote the movie Shelter in Solitude. Deacon Charlie Echevry. Do you know Deacon Charlie?
No, but Claire does. And Claire's my
Fantastic.
friend that's your friend, and she loves Deacon Charlie.
And he's very instrumental in the reason why Catholics are coming together. He's bringing all these people together.
Brilliant.
And I had done this movie, and he saw it, and he liked it. And so then I put on the reading of my play in New York with Patty Heaton and Mark Cole and everybody, Lila Robbins, my daughter, blah, blah, blah. And of course, the devil. There was this is 2 years ago. There was a massive snowstorm the night before. This guy playing the priest was a great actor, couldn't come, whatever. He comes, Charlie Echevry. He's like, I love this. do you have a recording of it? I said, yes. As a matter of fact, we had someone record. And they said, EWTN, they've got to see this. So that's when they saw it, and that's when they said, bring it to Napa. And then at Napa, as you can see, I have a little problem stopping talking. You're like, okay, this is called the living room, but it's not the entire mansion. We're going to have to end this soon. So anyway.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
So when you're out there, like I went with my sister Megan, and we got off the plane, like two dirt bags, Syracuse, it was summer. And we'd pull up and everybody's all fancy and they got blue.
They're all beautiful.
And
Yeah.
It's all beautiful. And everyone's like,
And everyone has wine. Yes.
yeah, it's like these beautiful little colleges and they're really sophisticated people. And we look like,
Yeah.
2-day-old clothes. And I said to Megan, we're going to rock this place. And she's like, what?
And you did.
These are our people. And then I went up to the tables and I said, I know we don't look good, but we clean up nice. So anyway, the point is that I had a great time out there. And it was just like freshman year in college, only like you're adults. Like, hey,
Yes.
what are you doing after orientation? Are you going to such and such a talk?
Yes.
And it was really awesome. And like, what time are you going to dinner? And it was just people that related and got your humor. So Peter Gagnon was like, Siobhan, what would you think of doing a podcast for EWTN? I was like, what do you mean? Well, what would it be about? And my sister was like, stay in your lane. Just talk to people. Don't try to be smart. Don't try to be a theologian. I was like, gotcha. So anyway, so then, my son and my daughter, and we all talked about it. And I said, well, I should just talk to Catholic celebrities and religious, mix it all in so we can, and talk about how great it is to be Catholic. And then my son came up with the name.
Oh, how cute. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that you thought of that. And so this all came out of Napa. Are you going back to Napa this summer?
I am. They asked me to be the MC. They just called me the other day. I was actually at my church, this Italian dinner that I made the church have, because after COVID, the church was kind of dying. And so I said, you got to have Italian dinner. And then I ended up getting a job and I had to leave. So I got all my friends to do it. And then they were like, that was actually that. Thanks. And I was in Italy and I kept calling my husband who was in charge of music. And he's in New York and he's like, can you not? And I'm like, oh, I'll call back. Can you stop? I call back. He go, so somebody else called me they go, Siobhan, every time you call the Frank Sinatra goes out. So anyway, this year I was just at it again because I figured I better go this time. And I'm standing like with 8th graders handing out like pasta, which is my favorite thing to do with 8th graders because that's about where I'm at with my humor. And I'm like, anyway, and then they called and they said, Mark Verlaine had called. They said, Siobhan, would you be the MC at the arts part of the...
Brilliant.
I was like, yeah.
Yes.
It's so fun.
Yes.
It's
Good.
so inspiring and so faithful. And, you learn a lot from people.
It's neat. I was just in Santa Barbara last weekend and David Henry was there and we were talking and he's now the chair for the art festival for Napa, which is so fantastic. So it's so neat. Like this all makes sense now, Siobhan, how you're parallel playing.
Well, you can't believe this, Liv. Okay. So I met David Henry last summer.
He's lovely.
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 And we actually did the first 2 podcasts out there. We did it with David and with Patty Heaton. And that night I see David like, oh, hi. And his wife comes over to me and she says, I think you might have hung out with my dad a lot in college. And I'm like, uh-oh, this could blow my cover. And I said, who's your... She goes, I think you used to go to a lot of keg parties together. I was like, oh, keep it on the DL. Oh, we're at Napa. Try to look sophisticated. And I said, who's your dad? And she said, John Cahill. And I go, that's the absolute truth. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
I know.
Wait, where'd you go to college?
Lemoyne College in Syracuse.
Oh, how crazy is
Isn't
that?
Nuts? I know.
She's pregnant with their
yes.
Yes, is it their 4th?
Yes.
I want to say.
Yes.
Yes. It is their 4th.
Just told me that.
Amazing because we got to see her little baby bump. She can't hide it, So
I also, speaking of which, do you know the people from Coronation Media? Gary Gant and Bill Phillips?
No, I don't.
Well, anyway, from Napa, they just did a film in Guatemala. I don't know if anybody's ever been there.
Oh, yes. No. I do know. Yes, Dan is the director.
Yeah,
Who's the director?
Gary Gassie's the director.
Okay, Gary's the director.
Yes, it's okay.
Gary, if Gary is listening to this podcast, he's gonna be so mad because I said his name wrong.
You can edit. I've learned this.
Okay.
Oh, do you want to
I do know the director. It's Gary.
See? Exactly. Gary Gassie. He's the best. So
he's the best.
So I met them at Napa and down to Guatemala I go to play the Methodist missionary from Kansas. It's all true about Father Stanley Rother.
Yes.
The Mayan. Okay. So this experience, everyone's got to go to Guatemala.
It's phenomenal.
Have you been?
Yes. And Emily Blansdell. Emily
became friends.
Yes, she's lovely. I now work with her. Like I hired her company.
Love her.
She's fantastic. And I was there for a Catholic women's retreat.
Okay.
In Guatemala. You need to come on our Catholic women's retreat.
First, we'll take this. We'll take the Catholic cruise.
Yes.
Would you mind dropping us off in Guatemala?
Not a problem. We can arrange that. You, me, Harry Connick Jr.
100%. We got to get people to go on Emily Blaisdell's. Am I saying her last name correctly?
I don't know. I say it that way.
She has these amazing Catholic women's retreats down there, and I met her because of that. And she took me to the orphanage there.
Yes, I want to go so badly.
But the town where we filmed The Shepherd, which will be out next fall, it's amazing, about Father Stanley Rother.
Oh, I can't wait.
The people go to mass every night for 2.5 hours. The entire town.
Are you serious?
Culture. The women are dressed as they're poor as church mice. They're in weaved skirts that they make on their lobes, beautifully embroidered, hair done fabulous, such dignity, fantastic. And they go to mass for 2.5 hours every night.
I love it.
So amazing.
I love that. That's so fantastic.
You come home and you're like, I'm a loser.
Wow. Yeah, you're like, I don't really believe in God, I don't think, because I'm not doing it. I'm doing it the wrong way.
Yeah.
That's too funny. Siobhan, let me ask you one last thing. What can we do, like, as people who are listening out there? Okay. You have this brand new podcast. You have all these other projects that are going on. You have Napa. Now you're a Napa girl.
Okay. I'm going to tell you exactly how to watch this because a lot of people had some confusion with this. EWTN Plus is the new EWTN offshoot. This is what my sister gave me. How to watch. Now, I just threw my glasses on the floor. So, yeah. Had to go below deck. Had to go below
We'll
deck.
tag it. We'll put it on
Yeah.
here for
So
how
you go
people
to
can
the
watch it.
Gump, EWTN Plus on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon. Anyway, you got to tag it. So, okay, you can
All the
support that.
things.
And then when movies come out like Solo Mio, which is Kevin James, which is
That looks so great.
Respectfully Catholic, The Shepherd, we've got to support these. Broken Mary, Trying for the Heart. We have to support each other and get people to go to these because in order for people to make them again, if you're Catholic or not, they have to make money.
Right.
Oh, Shelter and Solitude, my movies, Rushed on Amazon. They're both on Amazon. We have to support each other so we can do more of them.
So would that be a specific prayer that you would want people, because I want people to pray for you, and the best way that they can support, would that be what would be the most helpful?
Yes, please pray that as a Catholic, I can continue to spread the word and do works that represent us Catholics in the best way, and let the young people know that there's a great space for them, and come on in. The entertainment field needs us Catholics to shout it out from the highest mountain.
Absolutely.